So Israil Madrimov has had to pull out of the Usyk versus Fury 2 undercard in his fight against Serhiy Bohachuk due to being injured. And yeah, it's a real shame. I'm gutted. And if I'm being completely honest, it kind of deads the card. And the card never looked amazing for Saudi-worthy card and for a Saudi-worthy card anyway. But with Madrimov pulling out, the card doesn't look great whatsoever, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I thought Bohachuk versus Madrimov was going to be a great fight as well. So I'm gutted that isn't happening. I was really looking forward to that. That was like the one other fight on the card other than the main event, which I'm really hyped for. Other than that, other than those two fights, I'm not really overly hyped for the rest. It is a decent card, but it's not Saudi worthy. But yeah, Madrimov having to pull out of the Bohachuk fight, it's a shame. I thought it would have been a good fight and a real interesting test for both guys. It would have been interesting for Israil Madrimov as well, due to him recently getting a fight announced against Virgil Ortiz Jr. on the February 22nd card, which is massive. So you never know. There is the odd bit of it conspiracy around it. Has he just pulled out of this one so that way he can get a longer training camp for the Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight, which is a big money fight on the undercard, to Bivol versus Beterbiev, the rematch? That's something, but I don't know. I don't think Madrimov would do that. He's not that kind of guy. Madrimov's that kind of guy who, fights you any place, anywhere. And who would turn down the big amounts of money that Madrimov would have been getting from fighting Bohachuk, then going into Virgil Ortiz 2 months later and fighting him? It's like I doubt he turned that down on purpose, to be completely honest with you. He wouldn't. No one would turn down that amount of money. And it was a big opportunity for Madrimov, so I'm sure he's gutted. But I mean, is that Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Madrimov fight now in question? It could be. But yeah, it's a shame. It really is. I love watching Madrimov fight. He's got a good, entertaining style, in my opinion, that I quite like watching. Good technical boxer, very clever with what he does. Traits of Triple G in him. But yeah, unfortunately, he's off this card. So, we're going to have a look at this card now. Madrimov has been replaced by Ishmael Davis. Big respect to Ishmael Davis, by the way, for stepping in on a short notice fight once again, which he did on the Joshua versus Dubois card. And yeah, against Josh Kelly. Didn't win that fight, but, it was close. He gave it a good go on short notice. Back in this one, so fair play to him. But, look at this card. You look at this card and think it's Saudi worthy. I mean, we got some decent fights on here. I think that Dennis McCann versus Peter McGrail is a very good fight. I think, that's probably the fight other than the main event, which I'm probably most hyped for on the undercard. Now, I think that should be a good competitive fight. But you look at these other fights and it's like, you've got Daniel Lapin versus Dylan Collin on the card. Daniel Lapin's going to easily win that fight. You've got Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor. I mean, it's not an awful fight, but I mean, it's like the name value isn't there for a Saudi card, in my opinion. Like, it's not at all. Like, comparing it to the other big cards that we got, and this is on a massive heavyweight undercard fight as well. I just don't get it. It's on Usyk versus Fury 2. The first fight was the biggest fight of this year. This is another huge fight, and it's like, no, it shouldn't be on the card. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen. It's like, I don't like how this is on the card either. Like, this is like a co-main event to a Matchroom show, if I'm being completely honest. It's just a co-main event to the average Matchroom show. Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Like, why is it on this card? Shouldn't be on this card. Dennis McCann, Peter McGrail is a decent fight. Moses Atama versus Dempsey McKean. To be honest, with Moses Atama, I think he is a good guy to build up. 100% he is. So, I don't have no complaints about putting Atama on this card, to be fair. But again, with him, I don't think he should be this high up at this point, though. That's the thing. He shouldn't be. Moses Atama, I think, should be on the card, yes, but he should not be this high up. He should be the third main fight. But I mean, compared to all these others, you know, he should be the third main fight, but he shouldn't be. There should be bigger fights above him. And then we got Serhii Bohachuk versus Ishmael Davis. You know, we can't complain about that. Madrimov had to pull out. So, you know, well, we've been given what we've got here. You know, all of us British boxing fans going to be getting behind Ishmael Davis. We're all going to be behind him. So that could be quite good. Usyk Fury, main event, of course. We're going to be behind Alexander Usyk. We're going to be behind the cat. I'm going to have my Usyk shirt on and everything, ready, raring to go to support Alexander Usyk. Once again, like I was the first time. But yeah, look, the card is dead. The card is dead. It's a shame as well because Madrimov, I feel like, you know, his stock's a lot higher now ever since that Crawford fight, even though he lost it. But, you know, there are many people who thought he won. I feel like it could have gone either way. And, you know, I wouldn't have had anything to say either way, to be honest. I thought Madrimov arguably beat Crawford. So, you know, his stock has grown massively. And I feel like he was a great addition to this card. And him versus Serhii Bohachuk was a great stylistic matchup as well. And a very good test for Madrimov. And also as well, the fact that going into this fight, Madrimov also had the Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight set up as well. It also just brought in that even more excitement and just added as well that extra bit of value to Madrimov's name. So, you know, it's unfortunate. He's missed out on a big 2-fight opportunity here, Madrimov. But again, he can't do anything about it. It's out of his control. You know, the conspiracies will be going around about him wanting like a longer training camp for Virgil Ortiz Jr. But, you know, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. He would have wanted to take the, you know, the big money from both fights. And this is, I mean, you know, his name's already, he's built his name up massively this year. He's fought Kurbanov on the Joshua Ngannou card. He then fought Crawford in the main event, which was a class fight. Very class technical fight, and obviously was meant to get this opportunity on this card against Bohachuk, and then next year against Virgil Ortiz Jr. So, you know, Madrimov's really starting to build his name value up, and it's a shame that he's not getting the massive credit that he deserves due to an injury, which is out of his control. Days after the Virgil Ortiz Jr. Days after the Virgil Ortiz fight was announced, and then he had to obviously pull out of this one. But it's a shame. It just deads the card now. It just does dead the card. And it wasn't, the card was already pretty dead as well. I mean, you know, there's going to be people out there saying, be grateful for what we've been given. But no, look at what we've seen on other Saudi cards. Look at what the main event is. Look at what the main event is. You know, one of the biggest heavyweight fight of this generation of boxing. And, you know, we got this as an undercard. It's not good enough, in my opinion. It's not good enough. But again, February 22nd kind of makes up for it. But Fury Usyk 2 should have a better undercard than this. Like, you know, it should, no matter what. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. Speak to you on the next one.